WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. The president of the Oktibbeha County Board of Supervisors is recovering after an accident on his trailer, or tractor rather.
Orlando Trainer was hauling hay bales on 16th Section Road around 10:30 Tuesday morning when his tractor was hit from behind by a vehicle. The impact threw him from the tractor. Trainer was taken to the hospital and treated for cuts and bruises. He tells WCBI he is home resting this evening. The driver of the car was not injured.
If you live in a rural area, it's not unusual to see a tractor traveling down a county road or the highway. But these pieces of heavy machinery often find themselves at odds with other vehicles.
Our Riley Livingston finds out how vehicles and drivers in both of these can share the road safely. She joins us in the studio with that story.
When taking a curve or going over a hill, what's on the other side or up ahead may be unknown. But when it's a tractor on the other side, sometimes accidents can happen.
It's harvest time, and that means more tractors are hitting the road.
This time of year especially, you know, with the farmers trying to get the crops out and even the highway department clipping the roadways and all that. Normally every year about this time we'll hear about a car and a tractor accident somewhere in the state of Mississippi.
Those accidents are typically a car rear-ending a tractor. Oktibbeha County Fire Coordinator Kirk Rosenhan says distracted driving is sometimes the cause.
You got to be vigilant, and tuning the radio and looking at your cell phone or even talking to an occupant can be a real problem. And speed and the reaction time is not going to completely solve the problem.
High speeds can also play a role.
At 60 miles an hour, you're traveling 88 feet a second, and it takes a couple seconds for someone to really realize that they've got a problem and start to do something about it, much less actuate the brakes and slow down.
Tractor drivers can also do their part to prevent accidents.
Well, make sure that the lights are working. Make sure, you know, you see a lot of them with the big flashing lights on the back of them, and that gets everybody's attention too. So, you know, just and watch for hand signals. You know, that's, you know, tractors, if they're getting ready to turn off the road onto a field, maybe they'll give a hand signal. So you got to be, you know, pick up on that too, and even stopping. So.
Car versus tractor accidents can happen at any time, but Rosenhan says they typically occur during the day.
All right, thanks, Riley. Starkville will soon have a new police chief. On Tuesday night, the Board of Aldermen voted unanimously for Captain Mark Ballard to take over the role. Ballard has worked with the Starkville Police Department since 1996 in every capacity. He says his most important role has been as captain, working side by side with current Chief Frank Nichols. He says his experience has prepared him for his new duties.
I think one of the first issues I'll do is address our development of our police reserve force. I think that's critical, especially in giving our officers a stronger home life, work life balance. I would like to move forward with that. And then I'd like to restructure patrol to where we have more officers that are able to act instead of just react to calls for service.
Ballard will take over as chief on January 1st.
We had one of those Chamber of Commerce type fall days around here. Look at our time lapse from downtown Columbus. Notice the golden ginkgo trees downtown. What a great day we had. We topped out at 76 degrees, one of the warmest days we've had in 2 weeks. We are now cooling down into the upper 50s and mid 50s. Still some low 60s out there as well. Lows will be in the mid to low 50s. Clouds will fill back in. I think we're dry tonight, but tomorrow areas of rain will be developing. Let's plan on highs in the 60s, and then a front will move on through. Temperatures will be cooling on down and will be much colder tomorrow night and Friday. We'll talk about it coming up.
The Republican Party sweeps state races last night, and at least one county saw an upset. A state representative known for his passionate speeches on the House floor was defeated in Tuesday's election. Representative Steve Holland has served District 16 since 1984. He lost to challenger Ricky Thompson, who ran as a Democrat. Holland ran as an independent to avoid a runoff with Thompson. Throughout his career in the legislature, Holland was known as one of the most outspoken legislators for liberal causes. He says he's at peace with the will of the voters and will always stand up for causes important to Northeast Mississippians.
I still have concerns about our state. we've got a brain drain that's killing us. Our young people are not staying here, and I have fervently worked on that to try to do things for public education and on social justice issues and things like that. That's been important to me. And I'm not sure where the people stand on that. We've got a very homogenous government now. And I don't know that that bodes well. Everybody has to be at the table, and I don't think they are right now.
Holland will help run his family's funeral business. He's also involved in numerous charities and nonprofits throughout the area.
The new year will bring a new sheriff to Choctaw County. Brandon Busby won over 22 votes last night, which is about 76% of the vote. He's been a deputy sheriff in Choctaw County for almost 10 years now. Busby says he intends to lower the drug issue in the county as well as assist with education in any way that he can. He says he also has a highway cleanup plan that would include the inmate work program.
Well, there were some close races in Monroe County, but now that all the absentee ballots have been counted, there will be some new faces in some of those positions. One of the close races was the District 3 County Supervisor race. 3 candidates were competing for the seat. It came down to Republican Brian Atkins against Independent Rubel West. When all of the absentees were added, West took the lead by 16 votes.
Everyone that's ever been in politics, that's ever been in county politics, told me that running as independent candidate, you got a 0 chance. You might as well just throw your money away. You have 0 chance. And I said, well, hey, I'm not any old independent candidate. You know, a fella told me one time I was trying to decide which way to run. He said, run who you are, and that's what I am.
And both the tax collector and District 2 supervisor positions will see new faces after last night's election.
State and county school leaders are taking a sort of victory lap.
We take a look at how they're celebrating excellence when we come back. Welcome back. The Mississippi Department of Education has begun its Celebration of Excellence tour for A-rated schools and districts throughout the state.
Those accomplishments aren't too far from home as Lowndes County and Amory City school districts both earned A ratings for the last school year. Our Stephanie Poole joins us in the studio with more on this story. Stephanie?
Yes, receiving an education in a child's life is just as important as the quality. Across the state of Mississippi, school districts are being recognized for their achievement of earning an A status.
Educators at Mississippi schools want better grades for the work they do with students. On Wednesday, the Mississippi Department of Education Superintendent Dr. Carrie Wright met with school districts who have earned an A rating.
It's great, great for the community to see what a great job the schools and districts are doing for these children, and it's great for the kids to hear about this and put it in perspective for them too.
Wright says throughout Mississippi, the number of school districts earning an A rating has doubled, going from 14 to 31.
Mississippi has done exceptionally well. We're totally in the nation's eye right now where education is concerned because we have done so well.
Lowndes County School District Superintendent Lynn Wright says his educators and students have worked very hard to receive an A.
They put in so much time and effort, and then that goes out to the administrators in the schools that spend tireless hours working, trying to make sure that we're providing the students everything that they need. And then that transcends to the teachers, and then the teachers to the students. And our students work so hard.
Everybody's growing. Everybody's getting better. You know, the bar keeps raising, and we keep meeting the challenge. If that happens, we're going to continue to grow as a state.
Dr. Wright says students across the state have made a gradual progression, scoring higher on state testing. She says she hopes those numbers will keep growing.
It's been drastic. I mean, we've had gains every 4 years on our state, every year for 4 years on our statewide assessments. Our kindergarten collaboratives, those kids that are coming out of pre-K and into kindergarten are outperforming all other kindergartners. I mean, we've really got a lot going on. We're also still pushing the literacy and mathematics in terms of you can't let up on that. It's what else can we do for children to ensure that we are expanding opportunities for them.
Now, Dr. Wright says the Mississippi Department of Education will continue to work towards student success and produce more A-rated school districts.
Congratulations to those schools. Well, adding nickels and dimes is tough for us as adults when it comes to spending, but our Educator of the Week is making sure her class is keeping up with how much change they have. Mrs. Kennedy teaches second grade at Aberdeen Elementary School. The kiddos are learning how to count change. These second graders are also learning the value of each other on top of what the change amounts to. Kennedy says that's the most important lesson.
If you don't compliment a student, they might think, okay, I'm not worth anything, but you need to lift them up because to let them know, hey, you can do it.
She never gave up on me, and she still checks on me while I'm in 3rd grade, and that makes me feel good.
And you can nominate your favorite teacher. Just go to WCBI.com. I just want to add to this that Renee Skinner, who did the story, said the little boy who wrote the letter acknowledged in his letter that he kind of been a troubled kid in her class, and that he was just so happy that she stayed right there with him and never gave up on him. So that's cool.
Making an impact every day.
Like this guy here.
Yeah.
We got numbers to talk about.
Let's do it.
Enjoy these nice, pleasant temperatures this evening. We do have some changes coming our way. And Friday morning when you wake up and get ready for work and for school, the wind chill could be down into the 20s here. And it could even be colder next week. We'll have your full forecast next.
WCBI's Educator of the Week is brought to you by Food Giant, where your neighbors are the owners. WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Today, one of the best days of the fall, I think, so far, with temperatures well into the 70s. Lots of sun. There goes the setting sun in Vernon today. And notice those clouds coming back on in over Durham's Pharmacy. You can see those foreshadowing some changes tomorrow. Some of these increasing clouds tend to foreshadow changes, and that's the case going forward. Louisville, Mississippi, a great sunset this evening. This is a current cloud cover and radar picture around here. All quiet rain-wise, but we do have some scattered clouds bouncing around the region. We have some heavier rain back to our west. You look at that in Oklahoma and Texas. There's a front coming on down. Moisture going to pool right along the front. And we will have a chance for some showers tomorrow. Now, the heaviest rain out of this event will be back to our northwest tonight. Look at all that heavy rain, several inches possible. By the time the front gets down here, we just don't really expect a lot of heavy rain, not like what we just had. That's certainly a good thing. We've had a lot of recent rain, but a half inch or less Thursday night. Here's our planner for tomorrow, 7 o'clock, mostly cloudy, 56 by noon. And thereafter, rain showers will be likely. Temperatures will warm into the 60s, and then the front will move on through. The wind will pick on up from the northwest, and temperatures will be tumbling into the 50s and some 40s and 30s tomorrow night. So let's play it out here with Futurecast. You can see as we go throughout the course of our evening tonight, the clouds will fill back in. Lows only in the 50s tonight, probably low 50s initially, and then maybe warming a little bit as we become overcast late. And there may be some showers around early, but I think the better chance of some rain will come during the late morning into the afternoon and evening. Notice the temperatures will peak and then start to fall as the frontal boundary comes on through. The moisture ends tomorrow evening, and then temperatures will continue to cool as dry northerly breezes develop. Low 30s in many spots here Friday morning, low to mid 30s, and then Friday afternoon, even with partly cloudy conditions, upper 40s to low 50s. The wind is going to relax, though, for Friday evening, but look at these early evening temperatures just in time for high school football. Clear and cold, 30s. Now, Saturday, sunny and cool, 57. Sunday, 65. That's sandwiched in between these cold fronts. So one moves through tomorrow. The next one comes in Monday, and that will move on through. It looks like we'll squeeze out a little bit of rain, and there are some hints that if enough rain tends to hold back long enough Tuesday morning, it could get cold enough to support a little bit of wintry precip somewhere in the region. That's just a wild card scenario right now, but the European model, the American model, suggesting something like that could happen. But at this point, no major problems foreseen. So we'll just keep watching it. Tomorrow, 60s, falling temperatures, breezy and cooler, 51. Some of you stay in the 40s Friday. Cool Friday night, Saturday morning. There's your nice weekend, especially Sunday. And then those changes next week, maybe struggling to 40 or so Tuesday, low 20s Tuesday night. Cold for a couple of days next week.
All right. Not going to complain, though. We've been asking for the cold weather.
And it's been hot for what seems like forever, so this is our time.
Yeah, it was 100 or so around the beginning of October.
That's right. That's
You're
long
exactly
ago.
right. I forgot about that.
Long time ago now.
Yes.
This is true.
All right, coming up, a look at sports. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
CBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
College basketball is officially back. A lot of new faces taking the floor for Mississippi State, but it was the old hats that were able to get it done and get the Bulldogs off to a good start in 2019. Tyson Carter and company opening the season on Tuesday, taking on FIU. How about this? Close game in the first half, but check out Carter to Robert Woodard. My goodness, on the alley-oop finish. One more time, the GTR connection off the steal from DJ Stewart. It's got to be a lot of fun to be able to just jump that high, finish off the jam. Right before the end of the first half, Carter keeps cooking, slices through the teeth of the defense, up and under for the layup for 2 at the horn. Bulldogs go into the break up 10. Big first half for Carter, 15 first half points. But FIU were able to close the gap in the second half until it's Carter again, the Starkville native, heating up. One dribble, pull up from the land, a plenty for 3. And then off the inbounds play, Carter just green light the man in the corner off the inbounds. Nothing but nylon. 5 for 9 from deep, 23 points for the Starkville native. And for icing on the cake, breaking the press, Carter to Reggie Perry. The big fella goes baseline. No one's getting in the way of that guy for the two-hand flush. Bulldogs get the win, 77-69. They're 1-0 on the season. Hey, a big game from Tyson Carter and Ben Howland. Expects a lot from the senior during the absence of Nick Weatherspoon.
We're asking Tyson to do so much. Without Nick out there, he's our one experienced guard, and he's being asked to, do so much, and he's really delivering. But, he shot the ball well and played an enormous amount of minutes again.
The playoffs are officially here, and for our game of the week for Week 12, we were looking for a game that had that heavyweight win or go home vibe. In terms of possible title contenders, one of the biggest games for our area going down in Montgomery County. Of course, it's a battle between Houston and Winona, our game of the week for Week 12 featuring the 3A first round matchup. Both teams disappointed in not clinching division titles, but are ready for the new season. Everyone is 0-0, but only one can advance to next Friday. Houston led by Mississippi State commit Calvin McMillan, Red Parker, Allen Robertson, Rich Alford, and Winona led by Ole Miss commit Andarius Coffey and the receiving duo of Andavian Hargrove and Robert McMath. A heavyweight matchup with big names all over the field. We kick off Week 12 and the postseason from Winona on Friday. This week's student athlete of the week from the gridiron, none other than Louisville Wildcat Ty Cooper. A monster season for Cooper so far, and now adds his first career touchdown, 7 tackles and a sack, a scoop and score in Louisville's 55-7 win over Kosciuszko. The junior defensive end says once the ball hit the turf, he knew he had to get into the end zone.
It happened so quick. I just seen the ball on the ground. I just had to pick it up and go for self. I just had to get the touchdown for my team. We came down here, we went over the game plan for the game. Just got focused and went out there and just played ball like we always were taught. I gotta stay humble, man. I just gotta grind to get there. And after that, I wanna go to the next level and go to the NFL.
WCBI will be back after the break.
Rain tomorrow, back to you.
Come on. It's going to be cold. There's more to the story.
Some rain tomorrow, heavy umbrella falling temperatures. You will need your coats Friday morning. The weekend's looking pretty good here, but some colder weather next week. So we're now getting into mid-November, and we have some Canadian air coming on down.
See that 21 there on the end. At least it's not going to be on Friday night.
I can't complain.
That's true.
It's time to have all those hearty carbs that we're going to be getting ready for in just a couple of weeks for Thanksgiving.
And actually did get a new weather icon for the computer, a bowl of chili. You'll see that soon.
Oh, nice. Thanks for joining us, everyone.